It was a great summer. Gave us a really good time, a chance to reflect on what we need to do to push forward. But on the off days, it was good to get together with Jack and Oki and Bogo and some of the younger players like Casey Middlestat and Casey Nelson and C.J. Smith. Albeit I was playing the best, and the young guys had to leave for their beauty league game, so they got out free. But it was great to spend some time with those guys in a different light.
Jack was in an upbeat, particularly upbeat mood this morning. I mean, he even cracked some jokes, which, to us is kind of, in some ways, refreshing. But what is it? What do you see from Jack, and what do you see as these new guys? The guys come in today.
Well, I think he is human. Hey, he can crack some jokes and feel good. No, I just feel a different vibe. I see a maturity in Jack, and with our leadership group, being able to speak their hearts to each other and open up and feel vulnerable and not have all these defensive mechanisms come up. And that's part of the change. And it's good to see Jack in a good spot. I think he's excited, along with our leadership group, our coaching staff, myself included, that we're excited for this training camp and get the things going and getting back on the ice. Enough with the meetings. It's time to get out and get to work. But I really like where Jack is and our leadership group as far as their approach this year.
You're not the first one to use the word vulnerable. Bogosian, I think somebody else stood up there and said that. What was that a commitment on your part, Jason's part, to have these guys open up and express their feelings, without repercussions? Is that something that you helped institute?
Well, we talked about change at the end of last year, right? And there's a lot of people in that locker room, a lot of players that needed to change, and this is myself included, our coaching staff, and it's good to see them really self-reflect and in that change, they held each other accountable. They had to get things out on the table, and that's I give all them the credit, because they have put themselves in a vulnerable position at times. They've had to listen to feedback, that a lot of criticism they might not have liked to hear. But I think if you're going to make a difference and you want to change the direction of this franchise, we have to change as people, and it's good to see that they were able to do that over the summer. I think it's just a vibe. I think guys are excited. I think our management has done a terrific job addressing the change and our acquisitions and just the whole new mentality and mindset of our players coming into this camp. There's an excitement. Obviously, we haven't been tested. And we have a lot of work to do, and there's going to be adversity. It's going to be interesting to see how we handle that. I know last year it really affected us, but I think I can only speak from this day that there's a good vibe going on in that room and with all the players, and there's going to be a lot of competition, which is healthy for us.
I know it's a long career to look back on for years. You don't have to give a specific instance, but looking back when there were times where teams were vulnerable, can you remember it helping?
Yes, it's tough. I mean, to go what we went through last year, we learned a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about ourselves as coaches. There were some tough times, and being able to face those adverse situations, I think, can only help us moving forward. What we need to do and change, and the adjustments that we need to make. But I know there's going to be one constant, is just what can we control, and that's our work ethic and our conditioning and our compete. And I feel that we're going to focus on that in training camp from starting tomorrow. And hopefully that'll help us get through camp in a good spot.
How much do you think it helps to bring in a guy like Connor Sheary, who not only has playoff experience but has raised the cup a couple of times?
I think it's invaluable. Like anytime we can acquire anybody that's won a cup and share those experiences with our players is only going to be beneficial to our team.
Speaking of cups, you hired Steve Smith over the summer. What's his role exactly, and how does that affect Chris?
Well, I think Steve Smith, you know, I had a chance, an opportunity to play with him in Calgary, and he was one of the leaders on the team along with me, and I saw his work there. He's done a terrific job developing the defensemen down at Carolina. We just feel after, you know, finishing in 31st place, everything was going to be evaluated, and that was me included along with our coaching staff and our players. And we felt that if Steve was available, he would be a good asset for our coaching staff. He's going to work well with our young players, our older players, our veterans, and his role is going to be doing the PK. And running the defense on the bench, and I see his experience. You know, his resume speaks for itself. I'm looking forward to getting him and working with him. And Chris Height is just going to be moved upstairs, up top. I think it's going to be great for him, develop as a coach up there, and bring some valuable information in between periods. And he's helping out with Steve with the PK, so it's a big responsibility. But I'm excited about that change.
Cleansing's work and attitude changes only work until you face the first test of adversity. Are you curious and eager to see how this team collectively responds to that first test of adversity?
Yes, I'm excited about that. I think, you know, even speaking for myself after going through it 1 year as a head coach and just being in the day-to-day operations, it's different. And I had to face a lot of adversity, and I think our players are going to be ready for that. I think they're going to handle it differently because, let's face it, we are a young team and we are going to face adversity. But I think our group in there is a tight-knit group. Our leadership group's been tight, and they're going to handle it in the right way.
With what you saw in the Prospects Challenge, are there some young players that aren't named Dowleen and Middlestat that you see are maybe ready to maybe challenge for jobs in this camp?
I have to give credit to the guys that were in the Prospects Challenge. You know, they came in early. They wanted to continue their training and development, and they made a commitment, and it showed in the Prospects Challenge, albeit we didn't win the game against Boston. I think they found out that Boston has a pretty good team, and that was a good challenge for us. But all in all, they sort of set the tone for training camp with their attitude and work ethic and enthusiasm. In particular, I liked a lot of players that played. You know, you look at Rasmus Asplund, you know, Olofsson. I thought Will Borgen had a terrific Prospects Challenge, bringing his physicality. But overall, I mean, you look at Casey and you look at Rasmus and you look at Alex Nylander, to name a few. I thought they competed and they worked very hard. And I'm just going to say, just for those group of guys and the guys that were all a part of the Prospects Challenge, I give them credit because they brought it.
Is Asplund ready to challenge maybe in camp? For
those things will play themselves off during training camp. He's going to get plenty of opportunity.
Bill, you've talked several times about the start of last season. Even yesterday it came up briefly. I mean, how important this year, given the recent history of this franchise, is getting off in October and not being buried like we were last year before Thanksgiving?
Well, it's crucial. I mean, it sets you up for the season, but you know, there's going to be times where we're going to be, you know, faced with adversity. Hopefully, we don't have to face that right at the start. But I feel we can only control what we do tomorrow, how we work the next day, how we work in our exhibition games. So when we get to that point and we have to face that adversity, we can change it right away. We don't continue to bleed. We can make our adjustments as a coaching staff, as a team, and try to, you know, plug the hole, if you will, that we can turn that thing around right away. But obviously, I mean, you look around 31 teams, I mean, they all want to get off to a good start. It's imperative that you set yourself up for success. But in saying that, we do have a young team. We're going to be faced with some adversity. So I'm really confident our leadership group is going to handle it the right way, and we'll be able to make that adjustment.
What's your early plan for the captaincy?
Excuse me?
What's your early plan for the captaincy?
We're just going to evaluate that through training camp and see how that plays out.
I don't want to say you weren't engaged in this team at the start like a year ago. I don't want to say that, but and I don't know how to put this properly, but you seem more fully engaged. You seem to be fully bought in after this off season, that maybe you're more, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seems that you're more aware of what you're facing and what needed to be corrected.
Well, I think, you know, coming in as a new head coach, you never anticipate things that are going to happen, you know, and there was a lot of obstacles and things that happened last year that, you know, after a year you see what you need and how you need to address those things. But I have to give credit to our leadership group. I mean, they're the ones that really put in the time, really got together to really figure things out, and you know, just talking and conversations throughout the summer, it was great to see. And I think we're just going to focus on that excitement coming into camp. That's what we can control, is how we work, how we compete, how we get better conditioned, how our checking details got to be better throughout training camp, and those are things that we can control.
I know physicals are ongoing now, but do you expect everyone healthy tomorrow? And also, while Sam works out his contract, will he be taking part?
I tried to lift 275 pounds today. It didn't work out well for me. But I anticipate everybody being a part of camp. Obviously, Sam in his situation, that's Jason's job and Sam's agent, and I don't want to get in the middle of that. We're going to mainly focus on the guys that are here, and you know, push forward tomorrow, have a good day of work, and we'll go from there.
Bill, what are your thoughts on Robin Leonard's situation, the way he came out today and discussed what he went through? Just what's it been like for you to see that?
Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, you know, what he went through last year, you never wish those things upon anybody, and you know, we just wish him well. I know he's in a better place right now, and that's the most important thing.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.